All right, guys, we're going to continue here with the Myron told ex-Pete Star, why men aren't married modern women. Let's jump in.
Most women don't qualify for marriage.
Well, do you think that most men are showing up that way, or do you think it's probably equal that in like both sexes you have underperformance on both ends?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, both genders have their faults. For men, it's underperforming, and it's for women, they're just hoes. So if a guy does perform and gets to that point, it doesn't make sense for him to wife any of these girls up, because most women want to get married, but they don't want to necessarily be wives. So it's tough. It sucks on both ends. But I do think long term, this is only going to hurt women, because we know women are social creatures. They get far more fulfillment from being around the people they love, versus for men, we're defined by our status. And we can always, find a woman later on in life. For women, they have a finite amount of time to get the guy and consolidate. So I think this hurts women more.
You can be like Chelsea Handler, where she made a video bragging about how she wakes up, what she does drugs and then masturbates.
Yeah,
cope. Like insane
that's
levels
terrifying,
of cope. Yeah.
Man.
And I would argue that's where so many women are headed, because the standards, it's simply put, they're high mileage Mercedes charging $150,000 as brand new sticker price, when guys can go ahead and get the same car and rent it out for
That's also
less.
not true though too, because you're talking about like an extreme version of men.
There we go. That message hurts right where she doesn't like it. Right there. That's not true though. We know it's true. We went through a lot of these videos. We went through a lot of these. Even before this, guys. It's true. It's true. But remember, she's still was a feminist, guys.
Like hyper successful, like top 5%. For them, that will always be true. Like you could have Hugh Hefner at 90 years old and he's going to still be able to pull any woman that he wants, right? Yeah. That's true for like such a small amount of men. Sure. For the majority of men, like we look at the obesity numbers in the States, it's like 70 or 80% of people are clinically obese. Those guys are not going to be pulling a college age girl or a 20 something that's like a smoke show, right? So unless he is a high performer or has status. So I'm saying for a majority of men, though, they don't have that. So we look at like these hyper successful
So it's a man fold, guys.
That's the model. They'll be fine because like you can still have women because they of the biological clock. That's not true for most men. It's just not.
There's a
well, if they do the work, it is true. But I think the biggest point here is that a majority of women are looking for that guy. That's
I agree.
There's
a great documentary that I reference quite a bit, The Science of Sex, where they brought a bunch of men into a room and a bunch of women into a room, showed them pictures and had them rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. I think it was like 100 men and 100 women, rated images of men and women on a scale of 1 to 10. Your obvious guy, he's tall, dark and handsome, flannel shirt, strong looking, got rated a 9. Mm-hmm. Then there was this guy who was like short, chubby, thinning hair, and pasty skin, and he got rated a 4. They went onto the streets and they showed random people the image of the guy, and they said, how would you rate the guy? Sure enough, he got an 8, 9, or a 10. They showed the chubby little guy, and they said, sure enough, he got rated like a 3, 4, or a 5. Then they added a bio to the...
Boom.
Yeah. And the tall, dark, handsome guy was a theater manager who made $30,000 a year. And the chubby, short guy was a software developer who made $600,000 a year. And guess what happened? They both became 7s.
Yep. and that's with men, right? Like we're able to increase our sexual market value from our success. But the thing is
ice up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like with us, like our value is determined by like meritocracy, which a lot of times takes time. Versus for women, their value is given up front. So with what you were saying, as far as only a small percentage of the men have what the women want. Yeah, and that puts women in a bad situation, because a majority of women are looking for the same guy. And here's the other scary part: we do this thing on our show called the delusion calculator, right? And it accounts for men from the U.S. Census Bureau, National Health Survey, CDC, et cetera. It's the most accurate assessment of men in the United States. And when we ask them, okay, how much do you want your guy to make? They always say 6 figures. How tall do you want to be? 6 foot tall. What race? White or black, right?
How many abs?
Like education level, et cetera. And it's incredible, dude. Even regular girls, when they say, this is what I want, the guy always falls into one percentile. So what it comes down to is like, there's more beautiful women than attractive men. So who has the leverage? The higher status men do. And that puts women in a bad predicament, because now they can't find their guy.
And more than this, if they want that guy, they have to cheer him. Why? Because it would not even make sense for population growth. If you want that guy, you see Elon Musk, he already has the 13 kids. I'm telling you, those type of guys, they can have multiple kids with multiple women. And you know what's crazy? Those women like it. Because it's pre-selection, guys. Pre-selection. That's what I'm telling you. In my opinion, when a female said that I left my husband because he cheated, it's not true most of the time, guys. Unless she detached herself completely emotional, that she already have her plans, and most of the time that's the case. She already have another guy, right? If she leave the guy, it's because of other reasons. Has nothing to do with him cheating. Nothing to do with it. It might be a small percentage.
Is, yep, too bad, have a nice day. I'm not saying don't learn. I'm not saying don't improve yourself. I'm saying that, like, human society is built upon men being better than other men.
Yeah.
And so guys need to recognize one simple thing. Every day you wake up, you need to look around you and figure out how you can be better than you were yesterday.
Yep,
That's the most
100%.
important thing.
But here's the thing. I think for men, they're keenly aware of that, whether consciously or subconsciously, because as a man, right, if you're a loser, reality reminds you you're a loser. Women don't respect you. No one wants to be around you. People make fun of you, etc. Like, you are constantly reminded you're mediocre as a man, right? Bullying is a rite of passage. But for women, like, they can be useless to society,
lied
whatever. They get lied to all day. Yeah. So no one ever tells women the truth. And then here's the other crazy thing too. When we show this calculator, right, and it gets like cat bags, they get a score of 5 out of 5 cat bags if it's like in the 1 percentile. Like, it'll show less than 1%. And they'll look at that number and they'll literally say, he's out there, I'm going to find him. I'm going to manifest it. And this is the crazy difference I've realized between men and women. Like, they will not change their views or their standards. They're like, he's out there for me. I'm like, why? Oh, I'm going to just manifest it because I'm a Capricorn. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, this is where we are.
The attraction between men and women is a fascinating graph, because for men it's a bell curve, for women it's a parabolic curve. So, like, guys, when they rate women, it's a standard bell curve. Women, it goes like that. So 80% of men are unattractive to women, based on the research. And for men, it's a standard deviation. It's a standard average.
Well, this goes back to women don't know what they're talking about, right? So this is probably something that you're going to agree with. So if these women are self-reporting, these are the things that I'm attracted to, and this is what I'm looking for in a partner. Most of the time, these women have no idea that, like, it's actually like so off the mark. And I think that we've kind of like digitized and like gamified dating and just partnership in general. So if all you're doing is...
you see what I'm saying? Shifting the goalpost to the accountability. No, women always been like this, guys. Always since the beginning of civilization, they always been like this. Always, guys. Don't get it twisted. It's not Tinder. It's not social media. Always been like this, guys. It's just the hypergamy was suppressed. Back then, hypergamy was simply a guy that was working and has a car or has a house. You see what I'm saying? That for them, that was it. Rightly so, because hypergamy is just a way of just protecting the woman from her own exposure to nature. She needs a guy that has resources and it can protect her. But here's the problem, guys. Females don't want to admit it. I don't know why. I just simply don't know why.
Scrolling,
simply don't know
there's
why.
a huge element of attraction that we're missing out on, right? So all you see is like this one shitty picture, and whether or not you think that person's going to like be a good match for you, instead of exchanging like energy and pheromones that we know are like, there's like this weird X factor that comes to like, I have no idea why I'm attracted to this person, but I am. They've done like that t-shirt test, right? Like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the t-shirt test, right?
They responded favorably to a guy that had a certain odor.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, and they were so they had dudes run on a treadmill, and then they put their shirts in a jar, and then had women smell them without knowing what it was. And if they were related, it smelled bad.
Yeah, like women always sought like the most biodiverse candidate, essentially. So if like the genetics were too similar, like she would kind of be repulsed by that. So all of this is like really important when it comes to seeking a mate. So if you're asking like, here's this survey, what do you want? It's almost like if you go to one of those like teddy bear shops and you're like making the perfect teddy bear. Like, of course you're gonna want to pick like all the best things for it. But
the scary part is they're completely unaware how rare the guy is.
Right, and I guess
and because they tend to use their own anecdotal experiences, like, well, I've been around so many millionaires because like I'm hot, so like there's plenty of them, and they really do think that, because what ends up happening with like, you know, mildly attractive to very attractive women is they go to these major cities, Miami, New York, LA, etc. There's an abundance of these successful men, and they're like, I'm around these guys all the time because I get invited on yachts, and they don't understand that this is still a minority of men. But this goes to show what I've said before: 90% plus of men are invisible to women.
Well, so again, like I think a lot of women are saying that they want these things, but when they actually step out into the real world, they're probably finding guys that are missing most of the things that they said that they wanted, like, and they are actually genuinely attracted to them. So again, I think like this is the one like part where I'll agree, like women don't know what they want and they're saying something totally different. And then when it actually comes to coupling up, they're going to find someone that they're genuinely attracted to, so that he's not going to have to like make those 1% marks for them to like be a pair.
Yeah, but okay, let's say he doesn't have the money, but he's extremely good looking. Like, he's got to. The point is that he has to have something, right, to be able to get her. If you're deficient,
she's still thinking about this from this female side of things, you know. She's not even the best person to talk about this. She's not the best person to talk about this.
Okay. Let's say you're a brokey, you don't got money, but you're extremely handsome and tall. Well, some women will deal with that for a period of time, right? Or let's say you have a lot of money, but you're ugly and weird. Some women will deal with that for a period of time. But if you're deficient, right? Let's say you got one amplifier that's really good and you rely on that, cool. But you're going to be deficient somewhere else, and that's going to come back to bite you in the ass. You're a good-looking guy with no money. It's going to be tough for you to keep a girl long term. You're going to lose your chick to some simp. Let's say you're a guy that has a lot of money, but you're ugly. You're probably not going to get laid, and she might cheat on you. So, like, it's very important for guys. Like, if you want to get the best of your woman, you got to have everything. Well, sometimes which is very difficult to find.
Sometimes a dude will make a girl laugh, and he'll be okay looking and like, but he's got potential. She sees the humor in him. Is like, you could be something. And so she'll go with them.
Well, because it's the potential idea. EM is right, but it's just because of the potential idea, right? She's being sold a dream.
We'll support him, especially for young people. You're dating for potential a lot of times.
Yeah.
It depends. I mean, it's always, what I've realized is like, the hotter the girl, the more selective she is, and the more, you know, she for some odd reason, these hot girls all date the same small percentage of guys. Like, it depends on the girl. But like, I think the main takeaway here is that there just simply aren't enough mates for the women based on their standards.
Nice job, Myron. Shout out to Myron. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next one.